everybody, and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway, where we're here on quite a cool and chilly afternoon at Daytona. We're here for a 10-minute practice session for the 11 race cars that are already guaranteed a spot in the Budweiser All-Pro Series Sprint Unlimited. As you see, we got 2 cars on the track. Now 3 as a couple of cars begin to head out here. This is the beginning of Season 7 Speed Weeks here, Winter Speed Weeks here at Daytona International Speedway. Now we've got a lot of new names in new places. A lot of new names, a lot of same names in new places. Here we go, I said that correct this time. And we're gonna wait as this 10-minute practice session as it's gonna get underway. As you see here, we're now head to the first camera angle, and that's of Jessica Shelton in the 02. She's still in the same ride, the 02 Vanilla Coke Chevrolet for Retro Racing Enterprises. She's going to be the first driver on the track. Along right in the behind her is Daniel Voiles, but we'll get to him shortly. Jessica Shelton had didn't have such a good season in Season 6. She did get a win though at Coca-Cola, but 1 win out of 30 races and hardly any top 5 finishes. She had some, but not a lot. But it was still, I'd say, one of Jessica Shelton's worst seasons in the Budweiser All-Pro Series. Now, right behind Shelton is the 26 of Daniel Voiles. Ooh, Voiles is actually going quite faster than Shelton. I wonder why. Shelton might have just tried to let the 26 car get in front of her. Because then again, although it was also probably a little bit of the draft as well. But the 26 Daniel Voiles had to win at Watkins Glen last season. It was unfortunately though he was not in the chase. But yeah, unfortunately he's not in the chase. But he had a pretty decent season. There was a couple times where he could have almost walked away with a victory, but unfortunately it was just not going to happen for that 26. Just getting on the track, starting her first lap, is Jessica Villanueva in the 78. She returns to this ride that almost won her a championship last season. She rounded up third overall in the point standings, behind Anthony Mercuri and the eventual champion Alex May. But she's back in the 78 car, looking to defend her Sprint Unlimited title, and we're just gonna have to see how it goes with the 78. I gave Trent Dunham. I guess I accidentally gave him his chase car, but I just like the paint scheme, so I guess I can really just ignore it. But Trent Dunham driving the number 1 Trent the Head G McDonald's Chevrolet for Ganassi Racing. And for Chip Ganassi Racing, he's coming back here to see he's running some single car. Trent Dunham, Season 4. It was Season 4. Season 4. He was 5-time. I mean, I'm talking. He had 5 wins. I think it was Season 4. I think it was. Yeah, Season 4. But he had 5 wins in this series. No, it was Season 3. My bad. Anyways, Season 3. Yeah, he had 5 wins in 1 season. He's hoping to try to get back on that momentum streak that he had back in Season 3. But, yeah, he's looking to try to get back on that momentum streak. As he's gonna complete his first lap, and it's gonna be a 47.23, which puts him 10th quickest. There's John Cittadino. He got himself into the chase last season with a win at Michigan. Back again in that number 72 for Cittadino Ed Motorsports, a single car team. He could probably hook up with O'Neal Balvin, even though he's not in the for plate tracks, because O'Neal Baldwin is driving for O'Neal Baldwin Motorsports. So, two single car teams, they could possibly work together. You never know. So Dino back trying to make the chase again and possibly win a championship. Now here's Anthony McCurry. He is ninth overall in the first practice session. But Anthony, he was so close to a championship. There was a wreck that took all of them out. Pretty much. Not all of them out, but everyone was involved in the wreck on the same lap. And unfortunately, the only two that made it out were Anthony McCurry and Alex May. However, Anthony McCurry had so much damage, or had enough damage on his race car, that he just couldn't maintain the speed. And he ended up falling back and losing the championship to Alex May. Rough. It was a great year for Audi, to be honest, with 4 wins in a season for Anthony McCurry. But he's hoping to ride that streak again this season, possibly winning the Sprint Unlimited and more races after that. Charles Sanford made his way into the chase. He got an early season win. I forgot exactly where it was, but he got an early season win. He got himself into the chase with it. So Sanford back again in his second season in the 03 for Retro Racing Enterprises. Charles Jackson returns here as we have our first group pretty much. Charles Jackson returns to the number 54 Dollar General Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. He got into the chase last season off of a win, so he's looking to ride momentum from last season, hoping to not have a dismal season this year. He's currently Charles is currently 6th on the board. Now behind him is a familiar face, but in a new place. This is Kyle Matthews, who usually drives the 14 car. But unfortunately, over the off season, which wasn't very long, if you think about it, during the off season, he ended up making a deal with Richard Childress Racing, and here he is now driving the number 27 Menards Chevrolet. Now here's Dylan Pote. Talk about another driver who didn't have a great season in season 6. Dylan Pote, no wins at all for that 31 team, making it a stretch of two seasons with that in that 31 car where he didn't have a win. But Pote back for Tweenix Racing, making it stronger than ever for season 7. Here's another group of cars right here. We already talked about 2. Here is Seth Cole. This is a brand new number, brand new sponsor, but same team for that number for the number 30 of Seth Cole. Sponsored by the game BioShock Infinite, and he switched the numbers from 52 to 30 on this machine. Seth Cole looking to come back. He's a season 5 Budweiser All Pro Series champion, looking to kind of repeat in season 7 and become champion again. Now the driver that's just passing him on the inside, that's Jessica Villanueva. I believe we already talked about her in that 78. Yeah, we did. We already talked about her. Track Dunham, Citadino. Let's see. Is there anyone we haven't talked about yet? I think that was it. Yeah, I think that's all 11 cars we talked about. Yep, we talked about all 11 cars. So now with a minute left in practice, in this group of cars right here, Jessica Shelton is the current fastest of the 11 drivers. Minute left, passing underneath the start-finish line. The racetrack is virtually empty because usually the Daytona National Speedway doesn't open its grandstands to practice like this. We'll see if anybody can make a last-minute effort for speed here as these 4 cars just driving regularly down the back straightaway. Seth Cole looking underneath them, underneath Jessica Shelton, and now here comes the 26 car going to dive underneath the 78 car as we're coming to the yellow and black flags. The yellow and black flags are out. Practice is complete. You don't see them waving it, but they are. Practice is now complete here at Daytona for the 11 drivers. So here's how the 11 drivers look after the first and only practice session for the Sprint Unlimited. These drivers have already actually no, not yet. It's not going to be live, but these drivers are going to draw their starting spots later tonight to find out where they're going to start in the Sprint Unlimited, in the 7th annual Sprint Unlimited. So, as these cars go around the track, I guess I'm going to go ahead and say this. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for Sprint Unlimited practice, but stay tuned shortly as practice for the Sprint Unlimited Last Chance Qualifier is coming up shortly. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys shortly for for Sprint Unlimited Last Chance Qualifying practice.